Welcome back to the Skift Daily Briefing. It's Tuesday, May 19th. I'm Sarah Dandishi, and today Americans are desperate for a summer vacation, but rising costs means that not everyone gets one. Brand USA is fighting back against travel misinformation with a new fact-checking platform, and new research says that most travel brands have a Gen Z problem. Actually, make that two. Let's get into it. First up, summer travel is coming, and the demand is real, but it's not evenly distributed. AAA is forecasting the busiest Memorial Day on record, 39 million people traveling by car alone, yet despite gas prices being up 40% from last year. Now, a survey from Allianz found 70% of Americans plan to travel this summer, and 85% say that they are, well, in their word, desperate for a vacation. Interest in top destinations like Orlando, Las Vegas, London, and Tokyo are up across the board. But here's where it gets nuanced. Bank of America is describing the summer as resilient but uneven. And that's a diplomatic way of saying K-shaped. Higher income households, many of which have received larger tax refunds this year, are spending more on flights, hotels, and cruises. Lower income households tell a very different story. Nearly 40% say that they have no travel plans at all. There are also signs that travelers are getting creative. Expedia is tracking a surge in what it calls destination dupes. Searches for Philadelphia as a New York alternative are up 80%, and Fort Lauderdale as a Miami swap is up 40%. So nearly half of travelers say that they're cutting back on non-essential expenses just to afford a trip. But how does this impact the travel industry? Well, volume will be there this summer, but the spending will be concentrated at the top. Brands serving budget travelers are also going to feel the gap. Next up, Brand USA just launched a new platform called Get Facts, Get Going. And the goal is simple: fight the misinformation that's keeping international travelers away from the U.S. International visitation to the U.S. dropped 5.5% last year, and part of the problem is confusion about what entry actually requires. A U.S. Travel Association survey found that roughly a third of potential World Cup visitors were concerned about a new $250 visa integrity fee and a rule requiring 5 years of social media history from tourists. Neither has actually been implemented. Now, the platform is designed as a one-stop shop for accurate, updated information on visa fees, national park pricing, and entry requirements, aimed at key markets including the UK, Australia, India, Japan, Brazil, and Argentina. But the honest caveat? Brand USA is fighting on two fronts. Some concerns, like expanded travel bans and visa bans affecting 50 countries, are completely real. Clearing up misinformation helps, but it doesn't fix the perception problem driven by actual policy. And Brand USA's federal funding was dramatically cut last year, from $100 million to $20 million, which honestly limits how far this campaign can reach. The takeaway: it's a smart move, but a platform won't be enough on its own. The U.S. has a competitiveness problem in global tourism, and that requires more than fact-checking. And finally, new Skift Research out this week argues that most travel brands don't actually understand their Gen Z problem. And the reason is that they think they only have one when they actually have two. The first problem is distribution. Is your brand showing up where Gen Z discovers travel? TikTok, creator content, AI assistance, with a frictionless mobile booking path. That's the part that most brands are focused on, and it's the easier fix. The second problem is product. Would Gen Z actually choose your product on its own merits, with no loyalty points, no discounts? Now that is the harder question, and most brands haven't honestly answered it. The research identifies a particularly dangerous position called one and done. Brands that have invested in reaching Gen Z through the right channels, but whose product disappoints on arrival. Now, discovery numbers look healthy, but conversion and return rates are quietly underperforming. Leadership mistakes the reach for success and doubles down on marketing before fixing the product. In a nutshell, getting in front of Gen Z is table stakes. Earning their repeat business is the real challenge. And by 2035, the brands that haven't figured it out will feel it in their revenue. The time is to act now and not when the numbers turn bad. Well, that's it for your Skift Daily Briefing. For more industry news, head to skift.com. And as always, subscribe at skift.com/daily. Thanks for listening.